Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I've been listening to a bit of the proceedings before. I will change my approach because having listened to WASA, and I intended to ask the board members and WASA some questions. I really am not in the mood for fantasy. When I go home, I'll watch Netflix because we are hearing about leaked backlogs being taken care of, and now they're labeling leaks as 30-day leaks. On my road in Mary Avenue in Diego Martin, we had 2 leaks there leaking over 18 months. When you turn left on Diego Martin Main Road, where they fix a big leak 3 times for an average of 5 days per fix, it started back leaking. And 4 areas within that, between there and Super Farm, by the Wassa water pump station, where the trucks full, leaking about 2 years. I don't know what Wassa is talking about, so I will leave the fantasy for them. I will go on to do and to get some truth from APET, please. So the scientists and engineers at APET, please, welcome, good afternoon. Could you please tell the population about the power and the erosive power and the power to degrade infrastructure of water, especially flowing water under infrastructural works? Please scientifically explain that, how dangerous, how deadly, how powerful flowing water underneath substructures is, please. Anyone from APET?
Okay, so Member Roberts, we'll be getting to APET in a little while. So I think the question you're asking is very relevant.
They're not listening?
No, the question that you're asking is very relevant, but we will be moving on from WASA to APET in a short while. And what I prefer is we deal.
No problem. I will deal with the fantasy first. Please, Mr. Chairman and WASA, you just made a carte blanche statement to the nation. First of all,
yeah, Member Roberts, for some reason. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Sorry about that. Somebody tried to call me. Yes, somebody tried to call through. I humbly apologize. It saddens me to know that the Chairman Nanga of WASA would like to replicate 3 days of torture for the people of West Trinidad and Diego Martin, where I live, where on average you spend 4 hours and 25 minutes in traffic trying to go 4 kilometers. So if that is the best you would like to replicate, it doesn't augur well for the rest of the country. Secondly, Chairman Nanga and WASA, you come here and you make a carte blanche statement that you have dealt with the backlog of leaks. Please give us some numbers, some statistics, because in 2017 at the Joint Select Committee of the Parliament, it was stated by then Minister Lahunt and other WASA members that at that time there were 4,200 leaks, leaking and losing 4.2 billion gallons of water per month. In 2019 and 2020, that increased to 6,400 leaks. Please tell me, what's the number of leaks in your new definition and semantics that exist in Trinidad and Tobago now, and how much water, potable water, are we losing per month throughout Trinidad and Tobago by leaking systems of water?
So, Chairman Nanga, would you offer some comments on what Member Roberts is asking?
And in terms of the first comment, I was not referring to the first repair that we did in the West that would have caused the havoc. I was referring to the second leak that we addressed. And we addressed and restored the road in less than 12 hours. The repair, and it was a massive repair. The leak was repaired and the road permanently restored in less than 12 hours. In fact, the CEO had sent me photographs. By 5 o'clock, the road was already restored, and it created a minimum amount of traffic disruption. I was personally on the scene from around 7 o'clock that night. And while I was there, I left around 11 o'clock. There was no backup of traffic at that point. That that I was referring to. That second repair, not the first one. We were cognizant of the issues faced by the first one. We learned from our mistakes on that occasion, and we corrected it on the second time around. At the time we started with the leak repair drive, we were looking at an approximate figure of 5,000 leaks in our system. And that would have been at the point when we developed the digital dashboard to allow us to track the leaks that we were dealing with. And we would have repaired that 5,000 leak backlog. That's the backlog that we met in place. That's the backlog that persons that would have been referring to all along. Currently, based on our system, we have 1,500 current leaks that we're in the process of addressing. Of course, we can't say that we have 1,500 leaks. That is a moving target because we would have leaks that are repaired, and you would have new leaks. And until we have substantial replacement of our aged infrastructure, that is an issue that we would have to deal with continuously. I'm thankful that the member mentioned the leak that was repaired on 3 and 4 occasions. We are fully aware of that, and we have taken steps to address that. In addition to developing a road restoration policy, we have developed, with the assistance of our deputy chair, who was a former president of the Plumbers Association, we have developed a protocol for leak repair. And we have asked the leak repair crews internally to follow that protocol to ensure that the leaks are properly repaired. In fact, in my area where I live, there was a leak that was repaired on 4 occasions within the span of about 2 weeks, until we were forced to get a contractor. The contractor came in and the leak was permanently repaired, so that we are addressing that issue of reoccurring leaks at the same place. Again, hopefully, once we have sufficient replacement of aged infrastructure, those occurrences would be reduced. I think that would be the questions. So currently, there are 1,500 leaks based on our digital dashboard that we are looking at.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Nanga. What is happening is that it's 3:32. We have spent almost 1 hour, close to 1 hour, with WASA.
Chairman, I know,
we have other entities present.
Chairman, I waited patiently. Let me just respond to the Chairman Nanga, please, because he gave us some nice information there that moved us from the realm of fantasy into a bit of reality. So one follow-up to Chairman Nanga. So there are 1,500 leaks now. Now, not in a scientific manner, but more in a guesstimate manner based on 4,200 leaks losing 4.2 billion gallons of water per month. If there are 1,500 leaks now, we are saying that WASA is currently under our road infrastructure and under our houses and our buildings and everything, that there is approximately still 1.2 to 1.5 billion gallons of water being wasted by leaks from WASA's infrastructure. What if you have a scientist there? I'm not sure if this acting CEO is an engineer. What is the effect of all of this water continuously flowing under our road networks, our bridges, and damaging the foundations? Because you can be talking about road restoration, but with the power of water and the amount of leaks, we will be restoring roads till my great-grandson that is not born yet is 100 years old. So please tell us how much gallons of water is being wasted and what is the damage that is doing to the infrastructure, our road infrastructure. Thank you. Okay, so Chairman Nanga would allow you a response.
Thank you. I'm not sure whether the member got those figures, but it's the amount of water lost by leaks is not in the billions. It's in the millions, perhaps hundreds of millions. Possibly 90 million gallons of water would be lost by leaks. In terms of understanding leaks, it's not to say that that 90 million gallons would be flowing under our roads, etc. What we have found is that the majority of leaks take place at our service connections. What we have realized is that in the past, inferior materials were used to make those service connections. So the vast majority of our leaks are in fact due to that connection, the house connection, so that you have leaks flowing there. Those leaks will not flow under the roads. In terms of when you have aged infrastructure, on that occasion, it's not that you would have to a certain extent water undermining the infrastructure, but when we see the damage to the roads, it's not necessarily as a result of the water flowing, but as a result of us having to dig up the roads to gain access to the leaks. So it's not to say, but we accept that there would be instances in which the water going under pressure will undermine the substructure of the roads. But the majority of the damage to the roads would have taken place as a result of us having to dig up those roads in order to access the leaks. Moving forward, as I indicated, we are embarking on a widespread pipeline replacement program. And what we are doing is that as far as possible, we are using utility corridors, and as far as possible, we are attempting to move those lines out of the roadway, so that in the event we have recurring leaks in the future, we will not have to interfere with the roads. Coupled with that, as I indicated as well, we are looking at the HDPE pipe technology, which the persons that did the presentation to us indicated that we would have a 30-year guarantee on those pipelines. But the literature suggests that you'll have 50 years of trouble-free service if you utilize that technology. In addition to utilizing that technology, we're also exploring the trenchless technology, where you would have horizontal drilling so that you will not have to interfere with the roads. You will be able to lay these pipelines without interfering with the roads, so that we are looking to remove our infrastructure as far as possible off these roadways, so that what we are facing now should be a thing of the past once we get sufficiently into the program.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, through you, a follow-up question to Chairman Nanga. Chairman Nanga, it is unfortunate that you have been at the helm of WASA for a very long time, and you do not understand the quantum of water lost by leaks. You're telling me that it's not billions of gallons. Let me tell you something. I don't open my mouth before I research. The average back in 2017, the average potable water produced and pumped by WASA to supply Trinidad and Tobago was about 7.2 to 7.3 billion gallons per month. At the rate of leakage of 4,200 leaks, WASA was losing 50 to 56% of their potable water through leakage, which amounted to an average of 4.2 billion gallons per month. So you telling me millions, you are totally misinformed. You need to lean over by the CEO and ask him how much water per month is lost through leakage. And so, Mr. Chairman, I would like him to clarify and check his facts and tell the population the truth, please. Thank you.
Okay, so Chairman Nanga, could you just clarify, because Member Roberts is, of course, referring to the monthly production of WASA. Are you on the same wavelength? Is it monthly or daily that you are referring to?
Yeah, the figure that I got from the CEO, and I would turn over to the CEO in terms of those figures.
Thank you, Chairman, and through you, Chair, I really do appreciate Member Roberts' question. I can speak directly to these numbers because I would have done the last study in WASA relative to the non-revenue water levels. And those studies are usually done on a yearly basis and given on a daily rate. So the last figure that we would have developed in terms of determined, for physical losses, those are losses that you will be seeing on the roadways and so forth, from reservoirs, from tanks, and sometimes the transmission systems. They amount to 90 million gallons per day, which would be about 7.2 billion gallons for the month. I can speak to those figures directly. Now, as I said, those figures are generated yearly from our yearly water balance. Unfortunately, in WASA, we do not have a ubiquity of meters on our system. Hence, we concentrate the resources on a yearly basis at this point in time to determine these figures. Inherent in any distribution network will be leakage. Point is that it cannot get away from leakage. What we do in WASA, or what water utilities do around the world, is mitigate against leakage. And we have a number of reasons why we have leakages. One, it could be poor quality material. Two, you could have aged infrastructure. Three, it could be the operations of the network itself. And we all suffer from all consequences in WASA. And what we are trying to do, not what we are trying to do, we are actively working on root cause situations where we look at the root cause of our leak so that we will have sustainable leak repair. What we anticipate in time is that we wouldn't have a conversation where we'll be speaking about road restoration because we'd have a control of our leakage through our network. And I can safely say that one of the lowest hanging fruits in Trinidad after doing various studies will be pressure management. If it is that we control our pressures and have equitable pressure throughout our system, we may not have to be dealing, and we will not have to be dealing with these numerous amount of leakages. One of the issues that we have in Trinidad as well would be intermittent supply. Contrary to what people think, we do not want to have an intermittent supply in Trinidad. We want to have 24/7 supply. Intermittent supply stresses your system, creates transients on the system, and thereby causing leaks. So I hope
Thank you.
I didn't rant, and I would have answered Member Roberts' question.
Thank you through you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. CEO, for an honest, in-depth, intelligent, well-researched, factual answer. And I would hope that will go a long way to move you from acting to being the substantive CEO so that you would have job security. And then I will give you the opportunity to apologize and clarify, and then I will hand over to another.
Yeah, so